Hello everyone, myself Nibeta Panda presenting a video on regenerative braking of DC motors and induction motors. So, now let's see what is braking. Braking is a technique employed to bring the motion to rest in a desired minimum amount of time. In practical life, we use braking like in vehicles. We apply brakes to make the vehicle come to rest. There, mechanical brakes are used where friction is used and that vehicle comes to rest. A motor can be braked by means of mechanical method which involves a use of friction, but that method consumes time and waste of energy occurs. Like in friction we lose energy in form of heat. So therefore electrical braking is used to quickly bring down the motor speed to zero so that we can control the time in which motor stops. Means we can stop the motor in a desired time. Electrical braking can also be used in crane or hoist where we need to slow down the motor while lowering the load, because if we will not stop the motor in a desired time, then the load will directly come to rest and it may affect the crane or hoist or anything. In electrical braking, the motor works as generator, developing a negative torque which opposes the motion. This is the main thing of electrical braking, that a negative torque is applied which opposes the motion. Now, there are three types of electrical braking: regenerative braking, dynamic braking, and plugging. So let's see regenerative braking. In regenerative braking, generated energy is supplied to the source. This is the main fundamental of regenerative braking. When motor rotates, shaft of motor has certain kinetic energy. While braking a motor, we need to slow down the speed or reduce the kinetic energy of motor. In order to reduce kinetic energy, it must be converted to some other form and extracted from the motor. So, this kinetic energy is converted to electrical energy, which is now delivered by a motor back to the supply. Thus, here motor essentially acts as a generator. Since the fundamental of regenerative braking is that generated energy must be supplied to the source. So here in motor the kinetic energy act as mechanical input and that is supplied back to the source. Like in generator, prime movers provide mechanical input and then that mechanical input provides the electrical output. So here in motor, this kinetic energy acts as mechanical input, and when that kinetic energy is converted to electrical energy and supplied to the source, thus this is the process how a motor acts as generator. Now we'll see regenerative braking of DC motors. Regenerative braking takes place when the load runs the motor at a speed higher than the no load speed, due to which motor EMF exceeds the supply voltage and it starts to act like a generator. Now let's see in figure 1. This is the figure of a separately excited DC motor. Here we can see the equation of the figure: EA equal to Vt minus IRA. By using simple KVL, we have derived this equation, and from this equation we can see current is going towards the motor, as it is a motor, so current must be going towards it. Now, but when the motor will act as generator, then the equation will be like EA is equal to Vt plus IARA. Since it is a generator, so current must be going outward of the current must be going outward. Hence, EA must be greater than Vt for motor to act as generator. Now, if terminal voltage of motor is reduced below EMF, current direction is reversed. Thus, motor deliver electric output. Stored kinetic energy act as mechanical input, and when motor comes to rest, it does not deliver any electrical output. That is what I said first, that kinetic energy will act as mechanical input and that will be supplied back to the source. This is the main thing. Now, as motor slows down, the speed of motor reduces, due to which EMF also reduces. And if it goes below Vt, it will start to operate as motor, but we want our motor to act as generator. So this condition is not desired. Hence, in order to operate the machine as generator, we must continuously reduce Vt on supply voltage so that armature EMF can never go below the value of supply voltage. Now this is the figure of regenerative braking characteristics of a separately excited motor. Here now from these equations, K E equal to K phi omega m, V equal to E plus IRA, T equal to K phi IA, we have the relation omega equal to V by K phi minus RA by K phi whole square into T. From these above four equations, we have calculated this characteristics graph of regenerative braking of separately excited DC motor. Here see, when torque is reversed, braking occurs. Now if we'll see in case of if we'll see in the sense of torque, we have a relation with torque like T is equal to K phi Ia. So if T is, so we see that T is equal to K phi Ia. Now we'll see regenerative braking in series DC motor. As I first told that the relation of torque is T equal to K phi A, so T is directly proportional to phi Ia. Now we know that phi, in case this is in case of series DC motor, now phi is directly proportional to Ia, so T will be directly proportional to what? Ia square. T will be directly proportional to Ia square. Now if we will reverse this current, that is if we will reverse this Ia, T will still be same. So there will be no reversal in torque in case of series DC motor. That's why regenerative braking is not possible in series DC motor. Let's see what is written here. In series motor, as speed increases, armature current increases and therefore flux decreases. Consequently, condition of equation omega equal to V by square root of K into Kf into 1 by square root of T minus RA by K into Kf cannot be achieved. Thus, regenerative braking is not possible. Hence, in series motor, regenerative braking is accompanied by connecting the series field winding parallel to armature. Hence, we will have to convert the series motor to shunt motor so that we can operate regenerative braking in it. As I have told that equation, T will be same. There will be no torque reversal occur if this will be a series motor. Hence, series DC motor must be converted into shunt motor for regenerative braking to occur. Now in case of shunt motor, we see torque is directly proportional to I. So when I will be reversed, then torque will automatically reverse. Hence T is anti-parallel to omega. Hence in shunt motor, regenerative braking is possible. Now we will see regenerative braking of induction motors. In electrical braking of induction motor, electrical techniques are employed to bring down the motor to rest in a desired minimum amount of time. We know that in induction motor, NR is less than NS, but in induction generator, NR is greater than NS. What we want in regenerative braking, we want that motor should act as generator. This is the main thing. So if the synchronous speed is brought down to a value such that NR is less than NS is less than NR, then the induction motor starts to operate as generator and the stored kinetic energy at the shaft of the motor is extracted and is delivered as electrical energy. So how to reduce that NS? We know the formula that NS is equal to 120 F by P. Now, by pole changing method, we can double the number of starter poles by which NS can be reduced to half of the original value so that it becomes less than NR. Now, if the kinetic energy converted to electrical energy so that Ke kinetic energy and speed of the motor reduces, but if NR become less than NS, the machine again starts to operate as motor. But we don't want this. We want the machine to act as generator. To avoid this condition, we must switch off the supply before NR become less than NS. There are some other method also in which NS can also be reduced by means of variable frequency method, in which frequency can be decreased by keeping VF constant. We know that when NS will be decreased, then frequency will decrease. But if frequency will decrease, then consequently flux will be increased. So we have to make V by F constant. This is the process. Now the figure below shows the speed torque characteristics of regenerative braking of induction motor. Here see, when torque reversal occurs, regenerative braking occurs. This is the regenerative braking of speed torque characteristics of regenerative braking of DC motor. So at last we will see some advantages and disadvantages of regenerative braking. Some disadvantages are the DC machine required in case of regenerative braking are of large size and cost more. Owing to recaptured energy, the operation of substation become complicated and difficult. Now I'll see some advantages of regenerative braking. A proper implementation of regenerative braking system extends driving range. It improves braking efficiency, reduces brake wear, and improves energy conservation. It reduces brake wear as there is no mechanical method applied. Uh, electrical conversion takes place. The kinetic energy is supplied back to the source. That is, therefore there is no brake wear occurs, and it improves energy conservation as no energy is lost here. Here only it is conserved. So these are the most important advantages of regenerative braking. So in this video we see about its advantage, disadvantage, and how regenerative braking occurs in DC motor, in separately excited, series, shunt, and we also saw the regenerative braking of induction motors. That's all. Thank you very much.